And so the question would be, what would happen if we could organize homeowners en masse to do a mortgage strike? To say, if we get 500,000 people to agree, we'll agree we won't pay our mortgages. It would literally cause a new financial crisis. 4 things we could do that could really upset Wall Street. One is if city and state and other government entities demanded to renegotiate their debt because they're paying too much interest. And you might say, well, why would the banks ever do it? Because cities and counties could say, we won't do business in the future with you if you don't renegotiate the debt now, meaning about 1/3 of bank profits generate from dealing with cities and states. So we could leverage the power we have of government to say, we won't do business with you, JP Morgan Chase, anymore, unless you do 2 things. You reduce the price of our interest since your interest rate is down, and second, you rewrite the mortgages for everybody in the community so they can stay in their home. We can make them do that. The second thing is there's a whole question in Europe now about austerity and students raising the question of a debt strike. What would happen if students said, we're not going to pay? It's $1 trillion. Think about the Republicans screaming about debt, $1 trillion in student debt. There's a third thing that we could think about. What if public employee unions, instead of just being on the defensive, put on the collective bargaining table? When they negotiate, they said, we demand, as a condition of negotiation, that the government renegotiate. We believe in good financial management. It's crazy that you're paying too much interest to your buddy, the bankers. It's a strike issue for us. We will strike unless you force the banks to relieve the debt of the city. I'm not going to go through all the detail except to say there's extraordinary things we do, and then if you add on top of that, if we really thought about moving to the kind of disruption in Madison, but moving that to Wall Street and moving that to other cities around the country where we basically said, you stole $17 trillion, you've impoverished us, and we're going to make it impossible for you to operate.